And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Ooh, welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing, all at the same time. Coming up, episode 72, we venture to a land far, far away, Wakanda, as we celebrate Wakanda Forever in this week's movie review. Also, we're doing a public service announcement telling you what you shouldn't do when you venture into nature and so much more. I am Mike Fish, and I am joined, as always, by the main man from San Fran, Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, my man?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here, coming to you with the newest edition of the Waffle Box. The original Waffle Box. You will accept no substitutes. You better ask your mama. Mike Fish, how are you doing, sir?
I am splendid. I have had such a day that, I've been, one of those situations where you kind of do things and you kind of get excited and you realize, Jesus Christ, I am old because this should not get me excited. I got a new, so I was looking for a mouse mat. That's my day. So
a mouse, click.
A mouse mat, the thing to cushion the mouse of the computer.
Oh, a mat. Yes, okay. Yeah. We call it a mouse pad.
Oh, mouse pad. Oh, What a whimsical language you Americans have. So, because before, I'll take it, when I'm, recording such shows such as the original Waffle Box, sometimes when I move my mouse around, it scrapes on the desk. I don't know if you can hear that. You know what I mean? So I
can hear that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I need to get a mouse mat. So I was looking for a mouse pad, as you said. And then I discovered there are like giant mouse pads that you can get that pretty much cover the entire desk. I was, oh my God. I've never, my eyes were open. So I got one of those.
And you can customize them and put the Waffle Box logo or your favorite dog or even your own selfie there, Mike Fish, on your own customizable that mouse mat.
I don't think I'd like my face looking back to me, but maybe next one. Now I've learned of this thing. Maybe I'll get my own customized one. Maybe I'll put a Waffle Box one on the store, wafflemerch.com. Maybe everyone else can buy those. That'd be great. But yeah,
because I use a series of laptops, I don't have to deal with the mouse mat anymore. But what I do have as a problem is resting my hand on the right edge of said laptop, so that like eventually like my bone bruises. Like, so I've had to like make my own cushion for it out of like duct tape and Kleenex. So there's just this little cushion that I can rest my hand on.
A cushion.
A cushion. Put that on a t-shirt and copyright it.
Or we'll just put your face on a cushion and set it on wafflemerch.com. My gosh, look at that. We're only 3 minutes into the show. Come up with 2 great new ideas.
Ooh.
Oh, we're going to be making some money. We're going to be making some money.
There we go. Yeah,
and
let's make some money.
Also, for those watching the video version, you might notice I look a little bit clearer. Now you can see the wrinkles in my forehead. I finally discovered, I'm big for discovering cool things that you can do like 4 or 5 years after the fact that they became things. So now I finally, by accident, I've discovered I can use my iPhone as my webcam. And look at me. I'm so...
Congratulations. You're doing things a 14-year-old girl knows how to do.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Have you heard of this new thing called TikTok? I think it's going to be big. So yeah, that's me. And then, I went over the past weekend, I met up with Alex from the Claret and Big Blue podcast. Went very well. Yeah, we went to a Giants game together. Saw them.
Oh, sweet.
Victor over the Houston Texans. Fantastic. Lovely stuff. We tailgated, right?
Okay.
But because obviously he's from out of town, he didn't have a car. So I was the only one with a car. And I'm not driving because tailgating is not fun if you're the designated driver. So
that's true. Also true.
So what we did is we put a bunch of alcohol in a bag.
Okay.
Took an Uber to the stadium.
Oh.
And then just kind of hung around other people with cars and drank out.
There you go. And I'm sure everyone there was drunk and friendly. Like, yo, you want a brat, bro? You want a bratwurst? How about a hamburger? You want a hamburger? Have a hamburger. A hot dog.
We did get there was no burgers or hot dogs that we had, but we did have a couple of meatballs.
All right.
Which, you know, it's free, so I'm not gonna argue.
I mean, I'm accustomed to San Francisco and Oakland tailgating, so like, you know, there's like meatballs and like, hey, who wants pasta? And you know, weird shit like that. But it's like, there's still hot dogs and hamburgers. There's sushi. You'd be surprised how often sushi and shellfish are actually on the menu. And he's like, ew. Or at least I am. I'm allergic to that.
I mean, I'm not a sushi man at the best of times. I'm not sure if I'd like sushi from a parking lot. Also, a new addition. If you're again watching the video version, I have a new pimple as a 37-year-old man.
Squeeze it right now.
Say what? Squeeze it. I don't know. I don't think it's ready yet. I think a couple of more days. We'll keep you updated. Follow us at Waffle Box Pod on Twitter.
Trying to get that weird pimple popping fetish group in. Like...
What is with that? What is it with that?
I mean, to do it is one thing, but to watch others do it is just kind of...
It's not as gratifying. Gratifying? That's not the word.
Gratifying.
It's like, I guess it's sort of like porn. I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's better.
There's definitely a release and a money shot involved for sure, but yeah.
Lovely.
I don't know which one is more ew, to be honest.
Although
one is shooting on one's face and one is shooting off one's face.
From face. Maybe there could be like a Dr. Pimple Popper porn where they're just shooting at each other.
You know what? Because you said it, it now exists. It's out there.
So if you're watching the OnlyFans version of Waffle Box,
do we have an OnlyFans?
We don't.
Shut my butthole.
But
oh, thank God!
I did see it in the most bizarre way of marketing a podcast. I wish I could remember the name, and I'd give them a shout out. But there is a wrestling podcast, a professional wrestling podcast, which talks about just wrestling. They haven't got a gimmick on it. They just talk about what's been happening in the wrestling world, and they upload it to Pornhub.
Oh, hilarious.
And they just link it, hey, new episode, and they link you to their Pornhub videos. It's the most bizarre thing, but there you go. Shout out to them.
mean, there's always been a weird dichotomy between porn and wrestling.
Well, so if it was kind of like a pervy, well, let's talk about the hot women of wrestling, then I could kind of get it. But no, it's just they just talk about wrestling. Just regular wrestling chat.
Guess what Booker T said this week, guys? Oh my goodness! Thank you for spending $2 an episode on this. Like, I mean,
top 10 nipple slips in wrestling.
Maybe. There's at least 20. I remember.
Memories. Anyway, should we get into the show? That was that was a good meme I saw on Twitter where it's like, every podcast 45 minutes into it. Should we get going with tonight's show?
We are thankfully a lot better than that. We are much better than that.
But you know, if you're listening or watching a podcast called Waffle Box, you know, can you really?
I mean, we've been talking about everything and nothing on at the same time.
That's the whole point. Anyway. Let's talk about nature.
Nature has been kicking my ass this week. Let's do it.
Why? What happened?
That's an episode discussion for another time. But as I always say, life gets in the way, and life has been getting in the way the last 2 weeks. So, Mike, what's the story?
Wow. So the National Park Service has released a new warning to people who are venturing out into nature in the coming weeks, months, and years and decades, maybe. So they are warning because a lot of people, because there's a picture online it's going around the trending of the Sonorian desert toad, which basically its eyes glow in the dark. Basically, it's like a really freaky looking frog, and so naturally, lots of people are trying to find this frog, and they are. Let me check my notes. Licking the frog, and the National Park Service like, could you please refrain from licking the frogs? So, but also they've listed other things that you shouldn't be licking in nature. It says whether it be a banana slug, unfamiliar mushrooms, or a large toad with glowing eyes in the dead of night. That's the quote. Please refrain from licking it. The agency wrote on their Facebook page last week. So the toad, also known as the Colorado River toad, is about 7 inches in size, which is a pretty hefty big size for a toad. Carries a weak, low-pitched ribbit sound, but the creature is far from harmless, it says. So Sonorian desert toads secrete a potent toxin that can make people sick if they touch it or get the poison in their mouth. Don't lick it. According to National, this is where Joe Rogan's going to perk up. His old ears are going to perk up and goes, I'm heading over there. Because it says the toxic secretions contain a powerful hallucinogenic known as 5-MeO-DMT. And if you've ever listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, he's a big fan of the DMT.
He loves his DMT. I can tell you that frogs have always had, frogs in general, the big umbrella of frogs overall, have always had like a rumor of like, if you lick the back of a frog, it has psychoactive properties. And that's not true for all frogs. In fact, I forget, there's a few very specific frogs, and clearly now this is one of them. But if any of them you were to lick, and I don't recommend licking anything that isn't your lady. Yeah, the one with glowing eyes in the dark, that's, I'm not even a fan of the lollipop, but okay, we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
How can you not wait? How can you not be a fan of a lollipop?
I don't want to lick a lollipop. Sorry.
Not even like an ice cream lollipop.
Well, it's ice cream. That's different. No, ice cream is different from a lollipop.
Okay. All right. We'll allow it. Carry on.
Thank you. Anyways, I can get why you would go out of your way to lick a glowing-eyed toad from the Colorado River. Also, that thing has to look even crazier in a blacklight situation. Like, wow.
Especially, imagine coming across 7 inches.
Well, you don't even see the 7 inches. You just see these two eyes just going.
Oh my God. There's a tiny car. It's about to run us over. But yeah. So according to the story, in recent years, smoking the amphibian's secretion has grown in popularity.
Okay.
So much so that the species is even considered threatened, at least in New Mexico, due to collectors that want to use the animal for drug use.
The Colorado River toad has made its way to New Mexico. I think you're doing New Mexico a favor here. What the hell?
That's, I don't know. Maybe I'm
Keep
getting
the
old.
Colorado River toads in Colorado.
Do you want to smoke some frog secretions?
You know what? Maybe when I was younger, I'm probably gonna sit this one out, guys. Or at least let you do it first and see what happens. Like canaries.
When in doubt, just don't lick toads. That's the official line from the National Park Service and
don't lick
mushrooms.
Podcast. Don't lick rocks. Don't lick doorknobs. Don't lick windows.
Yeah. You get a bad reputation if you start licking windows or just generally anything.
We're gonna get some letters on that one, Mike Fish.
I had to start looking up. Like, I might have to start putting up some things outside my windows because today Like, I know generally it happens from time to time, but today I had like 4 birds at different times headbutt my windows,
Oh,
which
wow.
is very weird,
That is weird. That's like some exorcist bullshit.
right? I was like starting to get a little bit worried. Like, apparently, the best way to do it apparently is to put a very small meshy, obviously, so they can't get their heads stuck in it, but a taut net about 3 to 4 inches away from your window. It's like, that's a lot of effort. Maybe they've been licking some toads and it's like off their tits.
Not impossible. In fact, highly probable. Highly probable.
Don't do drugs, kids. You'll end up running into a window. Next update. We've got an update as we promised we'd do.
Update.
From episode 65 of the Waffle Box is when we discussed this year's inductees for the National Toy Hall of Fame.
I've been holding on to this post-it note for the last 10 weeks, so I am excited about this.
You did mention on the show that you wrote it down on the post-it note. So to those that forgot, so the field of finalists included Bingo, Brer Horses, Master of the Universe, Light Bright, Nerf, Pinatas, Top, the Spinny Top, Phase 10, Pound Puppies, Racco, and Spirograph. And so the picks that we had, so I picked Pinata, Light Bright, and Spirograph.
That's also a good pick.
Because
so is Light Bright.
If you're not familiar with the Toy Hall of Fame, it features such amazing toys as sticks and chalk. So I went for the simple, the basic one. So, Pinata, Light Bright, Spirograph seemed obvious. Kush Hayes, on the other hand, he went with Top, the Spinny Top, which is, again, it's another basic one. A Pinata, show it, there we go. And Masters of the Universe.
I was going with my heart on that one, but it probably went to Light Bright.
So, the 3 toys that went into the Hall of Fame this year are Top, Masters of the Universe,
what?
And Light Bright. Oh,
wow.
So you got 2 out of 3, and then I got the other one. So we did all right. We did pretty good. But yeah, 2 out of 3, Kush. Not bad. Not bad.
Like, I honestly did not suspect Masters of the Universe to go in because, again, like, Stick and Chalk and obviously Light Bright, these are all toys based on the imagination.
I think Sand is already in there as well.
Oh, Sand. Sand's probably in there, too, if we go deep enough. Again, just things you can just be creative with. Like, Masters of the Universe is a set thing.
Yeah.
But, like, Top. Again, use your imagination. I don't know why we like tops, but apparently we do. Enough to put them in the Hall of Fame. Wow, 2 out of 3. Holy shit.
I felt pretty confident about Pinata. I was kind of disappointed that didn't go in. But yeah, hold on. You should have put some... Well, no, you shouldn't have put money on it because you didn't get them all right. But still. More on that next year.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
For the 2023
cannot
induction.
wait. Cannot wait. What'll that be? That'll be Waffle Box 120 plus.
What are we at now? We're at 72.
Yeah.
Add 50.
174. 124. 124.
Yeah. Look at that. So if you're watching this episode in November of 2023, once you've finished watching it, maybe you're going in order. So if you're doing that, keep going. Check out episode 73 next. It's amazing. Oh, Jesus, 73. Oh.
Dude, you're gonna love it. Like, I'm still getting letters about episode 73. Like, women are sending me like their undergarments, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is a game changer.
An episode, quite frankly. Yeah. That November.
We got nominated for a best podcast of the year. We didn't win, but we did get nominated specifically for that episode, number 73.
Yeah, and that was really that's what got our Spotify's attention, and now thankfully we're on $10 million a year to produce this show.
A baby was born. This shit was
Yeah.
exciting, guys.
It's crazy. Shit got crazy.
Do not miss out.
But yeah, then make your way to episode 124 where we anyway, finally, before we wrap up the first half with the Dumb World record, quick note: Jeff Bezos, the man with the space rocket ship that's shaped like a penis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Jeff Bezos likes to be shot into space in a cock rocket. He is apparently giving away his monies.
Ooh.
So Amazon
I hope some
founder,
middle-class white people get it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
According to the BBC, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos has said that he plans to give away most of his $124 billion fortune during his lifetime, which he's over halfway, I imagine. The businessman told the news network CNN that he would donate his wealth fighting climate change and reducing inequality. He has previously, so this is part of the story. So basically what he's been doing, he's like working out ways in which he can give his money away. And he's also trying to help out, or give other people his money because they have better ideas than him. For example, he's going to be giving Dolly Parton $100 million.
I'm good to see she's getting back on her feet now.
Yeah, that's so she's got $100 million to donate to charities of her choice, which is quite nice. But here's the thing, right?
Jeff Kisses is 58 years old.
Oh, okay. Then I made that little joke, but he's definitely over halfway. That's not controversial to say now.
No, it's not.
Here's the thing. Wow. Here's because I'm not big one to defend rich people because they don't need defending. They're doing all right. But the little part of this story that jumped out, right, where it's like he has previously been criticized for not promising to dedicate his fortune to charitable causes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong,
but whatever.
It would be very nice if he did it. But he doesn't have to. It's his fucking money. Who are these people telling him what to do with his money? Huh? It's a disgrace.
It's amazing how deep other people's opinions go on your money. Especially if you're a millionaire, or in this case, a billionaire, and they're like, well, he could be paying more taxes. Yeah, like, why would he be paying taxes? He should be paying more taxes, and other weird stuff like that. So, yeah, sounds like he got peer
Elon Musk.
Into this.
We spoke about Elon Musk recently a couple of times. I
don't think I've ever heard of that gentleman.
He's an interesting, quirky guy. He's now the emperor of Twitter. But when he spent $44 billion on Twitter, now don't get me wrong, was that a waste of money? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
most certainly it was. But people are, well, he could have spent that doing this and doing that. It's his fucking money. He can waste it whenever he wants. Like, chill the fuck out. Just worry about yourself. All right? That's what I'm saying. But fuck the rich people. But still, you can make fun of rich people in so many different ways. This one's a shit one. Don't do it. That's what I'm saying. But what would you recommend other than charity? Obviously the Waffle Box charity is a big thing. Jeff Bezos could go to wafflemerch.com and spend a lot of that.
He could buy a Waffle Box. He could just buy the Waffle Box from us. Starting bid is $500 million
each.
I think that's each.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah, each. We come as a pair. I mean, we'd still do it. Would help him out, continue the brand, build the brand, but we would take some money.
Or we could just do a whole other thing. We could just start a new show. It wouldn't be a thing. Yeah.
Waffle Boxes.
Waffle Box 2.0.
Or it could be
or we call ourselves Irish Waffle Box.
Oh. Yeah, no, we're Waffle Box, not the Waffle Box, cheeky bastards.
I'm naughty. Anyways, yeah, good for you, Jeff Bezos. It feels like you got peer pressured into this, but shit, you ain't gonna spend it all, especially if you're 58. So, yeah, dude, do some good with it. I don't know, man. Go into like Geary, Indiana, or Detroit, Michigan, and like find a family that like could really use $1 million. Like, a couple families that could use $1 million in those neighborhoods, and then give them some really good private security too, because
That'd be a
they're gonna
really.
fuck their lives up.
I know he's no longer in charge of Amazon, but that'd have been a really sick episode of Undercover Boss if he just started giving away billions of dollars to everyone. You're a billionaire.
We can't give
now.
away billions, but millions. You can still live a long time on $1 million.
Just give everyone $1 million. Wouldn't that be funny though if he just totally fucked Amazon? Like in the short, it would probably be in the short term. But if like the day before he left Amazon, he just gave the majority of his employees it's like $1 million, and they'll dipped.
Greatest Christmas bonus ever.
Fuck.
Greatest Christmas bonus ever, and he would still be like not affected by it at all. Like, I think positive Jeff Bezos could give all of his full-time employees, or at least the employees that have been there over a year. I don't know how it works over there. I've heard stories, but hey, like give the loyal employees $1 million at the end of the year. See how many come back on Monday, and you know what? Like it still would not affect him. He would still just be like, yeah, I'm still eating my vegan filet mignon.
While I'm on my bathroom break because I have to get back to the line.
Is Jeff Bezos on the line?
That's amazing. Put dildos in.
I want to see him working shoulder to shoulder with the common man. Get those COVID tests out to Phoenix, Arizona, sir.
I remember, speaking of Amazon, before we move on, I remember when during COVID, I remember when there were, and before anyone says anything, I know COVID's still a thing, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. When the height of the pandemic, people were like saying, "Oh, because people working at Amazon still have to go into work because people are ordering shit online now because obviously they can't leave." And I remember one interview with a Amazon worker where they were like, "Look, I appreciate we're still doing a service, but can you like not be ordering like things that aren't super important?" And one of the examples they gave was sex toys, to which my first thought was like, who's buying sex toys on Amazon? Come on. I just go, surely if you're gonna do that, get your money's worth. Go to a specialized website. Don't get like, you don't want that Amazon. What's their brand name? It's just like Amazon Selection or something. What's it called? Amazon something. It's
Amazon Selection.
Whatever, Amazon Choice.
Amazon Prime.
No, Amazon Prime is like the shipments, but yeah, Amazon Choice. Because I think I got an Amazon Choice office chair because it was cheap, and I got what I paid for.
Okay.
It's garbage, but so yeah, I imagine this looks like sex toy with like sharp edges, maybe, and it just cuts out after a couple of goes.
One that's awful. Two, there's a whole community that'd be like, I love those sharp edges for the Amazon dildos. Like, oh my god, you try that? Like, cut my shit up, something awful, but
I guess the only good thing about ordering sex toys off Amazon is that if it does break down, just open your phone, get a new one next day. Pow.
Easy return, most likely free shipping.
Oh, surely they don't accept returns of dildos on Amazon.
Folks, get back to us on Elon Musk's Twitter at Waffle Box Pod.
Have you ever returned a sex toy to Amazon? Because I know you put it in the box, because if you put it in a box,
dude, I've made a couple of returns to Amazon and they do not give a fuck. I was like, I'm gonna put it back in a box. I don't have the original box, so I find another box and I'll wrap around. And they're like, yeah, whatever, dude. You could have just handed this to us as is, and we'll still give you the receipt. And I'm like, oh, but like they do not give a fuck about.
Well, would you imagine though?
Things.
if you didn't have the
Yes.
box anymore, and you just walked up to, was it Whole Foods that they own, and you have the Amazon
The
section.
UPS store is where I go,
You
but
could, well,
sure, I'm sure it's at Whole Foods too.
yeah, just rocking up to the customer service desk, showing your return QR code, and then slapping this big 12-inch purple dildo on the desk.
That's very specific, Mike.
Well, I always, because there's purple is a very important color to me, not for the beats. But I remember once, so if you, I know you're not into soccer, but the Premier League has their transfer deadline day, which is sort of like the draft, no, not draft, like free agency or whatever, anyway. And also, a lot of times, if they think, oh, these clubs, these football teams are going to be buying some players on the deadline day, we want to be there. So that they often send reporters outside the stadiums of the teams. And so off, because they're doing that live broadcast, obviously you get a bunch of people turn up and they want to be behind it going, making idiots of themselves and pulling faces.
I've seen those idiots.
And there was one guy who was trying to do a serious report about a new player coming to this team, and then suddenly he just gets kind of slapped around the face with a purple dildo. And it's one of the greatest things to ever happen on sports news in the UK.
What's amazing is someone went like, I need to go to this event and
Where's the
I need
dildo?
to assault somebody with this dildo. Here's the question. Is it a brand new, fresh out of the package dildo? Or was it his
Was it moist to
girlfriend
touch?
or his mom's? Has it been used? Ooh. If it's been used, that's a double insult. Even if it's been clean.
That was
Even
a
if it's been clean.
double-ended insult. Shameful. I'm writing that down. Timestamp, double-ended insult.
Well, there's some, I want to say it's a Guy Ritchie movie where someone in like just a side tangent story is like, oh man, that dude went crazy and beat the shit out of him with a double-ended dildo. Like, I'm positive that came out of a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, that,
like, I forget if it was like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or something else. Like, it might have even been some other one
Snatch.
I haven't seen Snatch, but
well, if you haven't seen Snatch, it was definitely Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels then.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before on a previous Waffle Box, where those two movies I have no idea which one's which in my memory.
Oh,
it's just Guy Ritchie Part 1, Guy Ritchie Part 2. They
fair.
Like my favorite scene is when Vinnie Jones is smashing that guy's head in the car, and then his phone rings and he comes. He's like, oh yeah, and he's doing all that Cockney, like angry, oh you fucking butt cunt, and then his phone rings and then he's like calmly, bonjour. It just makes me laugh every time. But I have no idea which movie that could be. Lock, Stock, that could be Snatch. I have no fucking idea. Except for
the only reason why I didn't see Snatch was because people weren't talking about how good it was. People thought it was funny because Snatch is American slang for pussy. And everyone thought, that's just so hilarious. And I'm like, oh yeah, Snatch also means like to steal or rob or thief or whatever. But the only thing I remember about Locked, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, besides this dildo beatdown, is one, spoiler alert, they throw the smoking barrels, the rifles that are in question, into the river. And I went, well, that's fucking a waste of time. But earlier, the dude lost a poker game and was like forced to lose that poker game. We're like, well, you can go all in on this card that you clearly don't have, or we could just kill you right here. But then you'll still have to pay us, and we'll kill you anyways. And then, sure enough, he just goes in, loses all of his money, plus money he doesn't have, and then he just wanders out. And they strap the camera to him. It's one of those. It's that
classic
great scene where and then he just throws up, and I was like, I relate to that so much. I've never lost money like that before, but that's exactly what I would do too. I almost wanted to throw up for him, not because of him, but for him. Anyway,
spoiler alert, it has a very happy ending. That movie.
Does it? I honestly don't remember.
I don't think it does. But anyway. Let's talk
I knew that
about
laugh.
other crazy stuff and the people out there doing stuff with their life, putting their
What you doing?
names in books that nobody reads in this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
Why indeed? So this week's Dumb World Record takes us to Illinois, the state that has Chicago in it. That's about as much as my Illinois reference I have. A man named Sonny Molina, a surgical nurse with 20 years of experience, tackled the record for most lanyards worn at once.
Oh, wow. At Warren. Okay.
So,
and these are all concerts he's been to or
No.
events he's worked at.
so no, he's a surgical nurse. So these are like, I guess, like ID lanyards. He said that he was doing it in tribute to the healthcare system that employs him.
Yeah,
Those kind of things. Yeah, for those watching, listening, Kush held up a lanyard. I didn't really need to explain that, but so the record attempt also raised money for a non-profit group, Souls for Souls, which is basically like a shoe and clothing donation that then distributes donated items to various programs around the world to help those in need. Lovely cause. Now, you have a lanyard there with you, Mr. Hayes. Why don't you just real quick just pop that on for me? Right. So that's one. Okay. So how many times do you
just for fun?
Okay, it's two now. Right, you're almost there. How many do you think Mr. Sonny Molina managed to don to break this world record for most lanyards worn at the same time?
69.
Ooh. A little bit more than that. A little bit more.
Really? Oh, fascinating.
Yes. Sonny Molina broke the world record for most lanyards worn once with a total of 509 lanyards.
Huh.
What?
Okay. 509. Wow. That's a like we're talking like
a lot.
It has to at least go up to like his ears and his eyes here at some point, right?
I do feel because maybe I might spicy the picture from the story.
That'd be great.
But there are some. I think there are some with like longer than others, so it does kind of bowl all the way down to his stomach, and it's a lot of But again, even though shout out to Sonny, raising money for charity, you're a good man, you're a good soul. But still, the premise of this segment stands true. At what point did you think, hey, I can put a lanyard on? I wonder how many of these I can put on.
That's the question we continue to always bring up during this segment. It was like, why did you think that's the thing you should do? Like, what was the inspiration behind this? What was your muse?
I don't know. I wish some of these people would come on the show. We keep trying to get these people on the show to explain it, but they don't listen to me. Especially what was his name? The man, David Rose. Come on, explain yourself. I know he does a lot of good stuff for charity. Come on, maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe we'll get him for the Christmas special. That'd be nice.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Get the record breaker. So yeah, congratulations, Sonny Molina, world record holder, 509 lanyards at the same time.
I don't even think I've had 500 opportunities to collect these lanyards, and sometimes they are lanyards like this one right here, but sometimes they're just elastic string, Like, do we think that's he was counting that as well, or is it literally just this 3/4 of an inch thick lanyard?
I believe there was like IDs attached to the lanyard.
IDs as well. That's so much mass.
I know.
Okay, again, like this again, like, are they this thick? Because, dude, I only have to wear
You're
one
asking
of
me to
these
do
during
too
some
much
events.
research here. I didn't look into the thickness, the girthiness of the IDs.
Why aren't you looking into the girthiness, man? What the hell?
Get the girth.
Aren't you a professional? Get that girth going.
I never claimed to be a professional.
That's true. That is true. I will allow that. Yeah, as always, we always wonder what was the inspiration behind this? What was the antithesis? Why did you do this? I would love one of you guys to come on here. 70 plus episodes we've done this now. We need to talk to one of y'all. There are only 32 episodes?
So?
Only 32 episodes we've done this?
Oh, well, we've done 72 episodes of Waffle. I can't remember when we first introduced them. Now I'm going to have to go back now and find that out.
No. Not
now. I'm not going to do it now. Jesus okay. That'd be great content, wouldn't it? Me going through all these Google Docs. Oh, on this episode 40, so we did this one. Anyway, let's wrap up the first half. It's been an adventure. We've grown as human beings. On the flip side, we're talking Wakanda Forever in this week's movie review. We're sending Celebrity Chef down the trapdoor. And on the flip side, we'll be in the middle of the show quiz as we celebrate National Fast Food Day. Stick around. We'll be right.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Was you thinking of having that beer? But my friend, it's only 10 a.m. Won't everyone judge you for drinking this early? Well, don't worry, we've got just the thing to help you. Your very own Waffle Box mug. And now, everyone will just think you're drinking coffee, so you can enjoy your morning beer judgment-free. Go to wafflemerch.com to get yours today.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle Box episode 72. Still to come, Kush is going to the movies. He's talking about Wakanda Forever. But for now, it is the middle of the show, so it's time for the middle of the show quiz. And this week we are celebrating National Fast Food Day, which everyone knows, of course, November 16th is National Fast Food Day. So I'm going to test Kush's knowledge on said fast food. So if this is your first time watching Waffle Box or listening to Waffle Box, middle of the show quiz is quite simple. I ask Kush his 5 questions on the chosen topic. Obviously, his aim is to create the correct answers. And if he does that, he hears this noise, which makes him happy. Look at him, he's so happy. Unfortunately, if he does get it wrong, he hears this noise. Oh, it makes him so sad. Look at that sad boy. He's a boy. 5 questions, trying to get the best of 5 so he can win the day and win the trophy that doesn't exist. Are you ready, Mr. Hayes?
I'm ready.
Here we go. So 5 questions about fast food. Question number 1. As of 2021, so last year, which fast food chain had the most locations worldwide?
Domino's Pizza.
Really? That was your guess?
What is it, Papa John's?
No, it's McDonald's. Jesus Christ, I thought I'd throw you an easy one out there. Start you off.
I mean, McDonald's is the most successful, but there are other... Anyway, never mind. All right.
40,031 chains as of 2021. Speaking of McDonald's, brothers Maurice and Richard opened the first McDonald's. But in which decade?
Oh, 1950-ish.
Oh,
Oh,
the 1940s. You need to go
so
back and
close.
rewatch The Founder, buddy.
Great goddamn movie, by the way.
Great
I own
goddamn
it.
movie.
All right.
Question number 3. Which fast food chain boasted the highest worldwide revenue in 2021?
McDonald's.
Surprisingly, it was the old
Domino's Pizza.
it's the old Colonel, Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC,
Fascinating.
with $31.3 billion of revenue in 2021 worldwide.
Wow. KFC was the #1 seller. All right.
Yeah, I think it was actually. I
This
should
is
have actually wrote down. I think it was about 5 billion more than McDonald's, which is crazy.
Wow.
Question
So,
number.
Yeah, I watched. Oh, go for it.
Sorry,
Go, go,
no,
go.
carry on. Go for it.
I was gonna say I watched the foods that made us, and they went through like Domino's and Burger King
Oh, is
and
that a thing?
McDonald's
I
and
haven't seen
KFC. Oh, it's a history show channel, I believe.
Is it by the same people that do like the movies that made us and all that stuff, the toys that made us?
I believe so.
Interesting.
They're very entertaining, but they're very short and they're very brief and they're very cheap looking. But like that's why I thought like Domino's. They went crazy at one point. Like they had like franchises everywhere.
Just obsessed with Domino's. We're not even sponsored. Hashtag not an ad.
Not an ad.
Question number 4. Subway, the famous yoga mat sandwich shop, was founded in 1965. Under which original name?
Joe's Subway. All the losers.
Pete's Super Submarines.
What's the name? Super Submarines. Why would I know that?
Although, if I remember correctly, by looking up on Wikipedia, I think it only lasted about a year and then they changed the Subway, if I'm correct.
And they went like, it's much shorter. We pay by the letter.
Question number 5. Try to save some face here. Which US state does Burger King call home?
Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, goose egg. I think this is the worst I've ever done. You lose.
Wow. 0 out of 5. That is the worst one ever. I was actually quite... Yeah, I was quite shocked that you didn't get at least the first one. Oh, damn. Domino's more than... Oh, dear.
It also could have been Subway. Like, again, that TV show is very informative.
Maybe you need to pay more attention, Mr. Hayes. Let's pay more attention in school. All right. Let's rock and roll with this show.
Oh, I like rock and roll.
Because speaking of food, fast food, you know who loves fast food restaurants? Yep, celebrity chefs.
Elvis.
And Elvis. But if you've ever seen any network ever, if you're watching Netflix, if you're watching Peacock, if you're watching Discovery and all the other thing, God, there's so many cooking shows. It makes you sick. So let's get rid of one of these celebrity chefs. So I'm gonna give. We're gonna give the Earth a cleanse. We're gonna get rid of one of these celebrity chefs in this week's Trapdoor segment.
I'm ready.
Again, if you haven't watched the Waffle Box before, Trapdoor segment, what we do here is I give Kush Hayes 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 names. and he gets to send one of these human beings down the trapdoor into Bolivian, off the face of the earth, to make this planet that we are sitting on a little less crowded. Most importantly, Kush has to show his work. So, this week's names on the doors are Bobby Flay, Rachel Ray, that rhymed, Guy Fieri, or Gordon Ramsay. So, okay, you right there, mate?
Yeah, fine.
I
think you all know who I'm dropping down this fucking hole.
I hope you picked the
let's
right
get to
one.
it.
Right.
I hope
show
I
you
do
working.
too. Bobby Flay. No way we're getting rid of Bobby Flay. Why are we not getting rid of Bobby Flay? Because he is the original American Iron Chef. When y'all have heard of this show, y'all think you've seen the original. None of you have. William Shatner didn't host it first. This thing came out of China. It became a sensation, at least over here in San Francisco. Me and some of the boys would get together. We'd watch some Iron Chef all the time, and
It's
then
pretty
they
intense
introduced
show.
Iron New York. All right, Iron America. All right, they had Iron Japan, they had Iron China, they had Iron so and so, and they had to get rid of one of them. And then all of a sudden they introduced Iron America, and Bobby Flay was that American, and he fucking killed it. So Bobby Flay, you're safe. Rachel Ray. A lot of people are going to be surprised why I don't get rid of Rachel Ray, but you know what? I don't really know anything about her. I know she hosted a party, and it wasn't the best look, but also was like, I mean, that's kind of how they get down in the South.
I thought you was going to
should be
say
in the
that.
South.
I thought you was going to say that Rachel gives you the warm tingles.
You know, I couldn't even pick her out of a lineup right now.
I mean, if you looked her up, she's not like, oh my god, is that Rachel Ray? Oh my god! But you know when you like spot someone you're like, I bet she knows how to have a good time. If you know what I'm saying. She just has that look about her. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm saying.
All right. I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting
Say
down.
no more. Say no more.
All right. Say no more. All right. Let's see what we can get inside Rachel Ray's waffle box. But she's it's not a good look. Not a good look, mommy. But she's safe. She's safe. I mean, she I think she's gonna learn from her mistakes, and we can move forward. Guy Fieri. I know this guy is popular to beat up on. I know he's got the silly frosted tips, and he wears the fucking bowling shirt with the flames coming up. But you know what? That dude is actually like a Bay Area legend, and he supports every local mom and pop shop with all of his heart. Like, he's been at Warrior games. I've never met the man, but everyone that I know that has met him at like the NBA finals is like, dude, he took a time to take a picture with me. Like, he's a good dude. He's a fan of the fans.
Are you seriously about to pick Guy Fieri over Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay can go to hell, dude. That guy is just a fucking cunt. All he does is bitch and moan and complain and talk about like, yo, this pudding isn't good, son. Like, fuck you, man. Like, I'm being yelled at all the time here. Maybe I can't get all the lumps.
Maybe
out
you
of
need
this
to work
pudding
harder
if
on his
you're
pudding.
yelling at me. But I mean, I don't know how hard it is to make pudding, but it ain't easier when Gordon Ramsay's over my shoulder yelling at me and calling me a cunt. Like, fuck you, Gordon Ramsay. You can go straight to hell. The world is better off without you.
To be fair to Gordon Ramsay, if you agree to go on a cooking show hosted by Gordon Ramsay, or Gordon Ramsay is the judge, or if you own a restaurant and you invite Gordon Ramsay in to bring the camera, what did you expect? That he was going to give you a hug?
Only because he's now been on TV for like 15 years would I expect the absolute worst from Gordon Ramsay, or the most hyper critical. And yeah, dude, I don't want my fucking chefs working barehanded. I don't want them like picking up the hamburger off the floor and putting it back on the like. these should all be like no does. Like honestly, but he takes shit to like a personal level where like he insults your ancestors for how bad you are at rolling sushi. And it's just like, you know what? Fuck you and your mom, dude. I don't need this. And I got a
Let's
knife
not
here
bring
and
the
I should
mums
fucking
into
put
this.
it
Let's
in
not
your
bring the mums
fucking
into this,
heart.
everyone. I
But he
apologize to
is.
Gordon Ramsay's mother.
Anytime
Gloria
with Gordon Ramsay's
Mantooth is a
mom,
saint.
I'm gonna call Gloria Mantooth up. We're gonna go out for a lovely steak dinner, and then I will never call her again.
Disgraceful behavior. There you go. Sorry, Gordon.
Fuck you,
And
Gordon
Gordon's mom.
Ramsay.
I am.
I don't care that you are a lacrosse player or a rugby player or whatever, dude. You fucking talk shit to me in a kitchen, I'm gonna stab you with the biggest knife we got.
Does he play lacrosse?
Rugby, lacrosse or rugby? Which one is? What
Those are two
is
very
the one
different
that is
sports.
football? Which is the one that's closer to football?
Rugby.
He's a rugby player.
Lacrosse is nothing anyway.
Isn't lacrosse like involve like a stick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get
hit?
that one confused with football and rugby?
Motherfucker, I ain't in your country. Fuck off. We don't play lacrosse out here.
Why are you
Unless you're
bringing
like
this up to me?
your dad
You're the
makes
one that brought
7
lacrosse up.
figures. I'm gonna say things to hurt your feelings. So Gordon Ramsay,
You
goodbye.
already have by setting off Gordon Ramsay, but whatever. Anyways,
I'm happy to send him away again. Goodbye, Gordon Ramsay. I'm gonna
he's
drop you
Scottish,
twice.
so I mean, I can at this point I can say, well, I'm English. We're different.
Is he Scottish?
He's Scottish.
All right, this kind of makes sense now. Hashtag I still love Scottish people.
Scotch people.
Scotch people. I definitely love Scotch people.
As always, fantastic.
They're clean and they're full of alcohol.
Right, let's move on to other wonderful people, the people of Wakanda, and people wondering how are they going to continue on the Black Panther. I was about to say trilogy for some reason. It's not trilogy. The Black Panther
Definitely not a
storyline.
trilogy.
Without Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. Rest in peace. What a guy. What a legend. Well, we're about to find out as Kush Hayes is about to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever in this week's Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Marvel Studios.
Yeah, man. This was a weird one to walk into, Mike. Honestly, dude. Like I did not feel the hype that I felt walking into the first Black Panther. Like I thought they would have. Obviously, everyone knows that Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther from the first movie, King T'Challa, ended up dying of cancer like 3 years ago or whatever. In fact, it's one of those situations where like with Michael Jackson and Prince, I remember where I was the day I heard this guy passed away, and I'm like, oh shit, that's not good at all. And ever since they started to do this, started the prep for this sequel, I was like, I mean, just nobody owes anyone anything, man. Just recast the character. But they didn't, and they made it count, and it fucking shows in this movie, dude. So the biggest thing walking into this movie for me was how were they going to handle the passing of King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, the actor. And you know what? They just jumped right into it. Chadwick Boseman is on the fucking operating table. This is all off screen, but like he's seconds away from dying. And if we don't get him that magic heart herb that Michael B. Jordan destroyed in the first movie, like he ain't gonna make it. And guess what? You don't make it. Like it's a lot of people, one of the biggest criticisms I'm seeing in this movie is what was it that killed the Black Panther, especially since he ingested the heart? Cancer, fool. Cancer kills everybody. All right, cancer kills everybody. Cancer is 100% killer. All right, so fuck your magic herb. Cancer killed this character. They don't bring it up whatsoever. They're just like, T'Challa's dead. and we get into the movie, dude. We start off with the funeral, and you know what, man? Like,
So
it's,
when you
it's one
say
of the,
sorry, when you say it got right into it, are we talking like he
the movie
dies,
starts.
like he
The movie
dies, and
starts,
then
and
you
he
get
dies
the
off camera.
dun, 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 dun,
You get the Marvel logo, Chadwick Boseman specific, no music, all silence, dead
Oh,
silence,
interesting.
eerie silence, eerie silence.
Oh, so
We
all the clips are Chadwick.
Yep, yep. From
Nice.
what you saw in Civil War, from what you saw in Black Panther, from what you saw in Infinity War, and what little of him was in Endgame. Yeah, you see all of his just in the logo, and
Very
that's
nice. Very nice.
yeah. It's, I mean, if you like Marvel logo tributes, it's the best one, I guess. Um, we immediately get into the funeral, and you know, man, cultures are different. I don't need to tell you that, Mike Fish. You're from a different culture entirely, but your culture and my culture, they're pretty similar. Where we just hang on grief, and just, you know, when someone you love dies, it's fucking sad. All right,
Drink.
Wakanda's not playing that game. They're like the people that didn't know him. They're trying to celebrate their former king's life, and people are dancing in the street and they're playing drums. Meanwhile, the pallbearers are carrying them, and you know, the closest ones to him are the pallbearers, including, you know, Denai Naguri. What's her name here? Jesus Christ. Um, the general, Denai Guri. She, you know, this was her best friend. This was, you know, she was very close to T'Challa, and she's trying to not be sad. She's trying to put it on a strong face. She's trying to be the general of Wakanda. But guess what? Her best friend is dead, and so she is crying. But guess what? Again, this is a celebration. No one can be sad. So she's still doing a little dance with the casket. Like, all right, forward, up, back, up, shuffle, shuffle.
Oh, she's doing the electric slide.
Or there's some electric slide involved. You know, it's only a jerk like me would find this one part of the scene funny, and I own full ownership of that. So, anyways, we get that all out of the way. Like, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, they're gone, man. We do not have a King of Wakanda. We do not have a Black Panther. All the heart-shaped herbs are gone, and we don't know what to do. Meanwhile, a year later, we can go a full year. Some Frenchmen, they storm a Wakandan science lab, whatever. They try to steal the vibranium, and of course, all the soldiers there, and they stop him royally. And while Angela Bassett is giving a fantastic speech at the UN, they march in the French soldiers and like, fuck you, France. You guys tried to steal the vibranium from us. There was no way we were ever going to give this stuff to you, but we're happy to share our secrets. But yeah, just because our king is gone, you know, we're not weak. We're not soft, and we will fuck you up if anyone does this again. Like, it's a pretty great speech. It's a pretty great scene. Meanwhile, there's some new shit in the air, man. You're familiar with the Submariner, Prince Namor of Atlantis?
I'm not familiar
There's
with
no
what.
wrong answer. Okay. Well, he's not from Atlantis anymore. He's from a whole new underground water society. I forget what the name is, but Tenoch Huerta, he plays Namor, or Namor, which stands for Norlov in Spanish. By the way, I fucking love that little retcon they did with that. Otherwise, he's a formidable adversary, dude. He is intimidating. He is captivating. You want to see more of this character on the screen, and he's in it a lot. But you're just like, man, I wish this guy was here more, because it's fascinating to watch his point of things, his point of view of things, and what they do with it. Yeah, Atlantis is nowhere in this. Marvel is trying to get as far away as far away from Aquaman and DC and Atlantis as they can. So it's
Makes
a whole new
sense.
society. It's a Meso-American, from what I understand. I don't understand any of that, FYI. But it's an interesting twist on it. It's really well done. There's I'm surprised there aren't more Avatar comparisons, but who cares? That shit's coming out next month anyways. Mm, this movie is long. It's 2 hours, 40 plus minutes.
Of course it is. It's a
And
Marvel movie.
it is a Marvel movie. Yes, sir. You know what? I didn't feel any of it. I did have to go to the bathroom at one point, but I'm in a really good theater, so I was gone maybe a whole 2 minutes. I don't feel like I missed anything. I don't know why people are making a big deal out of that these days. Um, but yeah, normally I'm just like, we could have cut 10 minutes here, we could have cut 15 minutes, and maybe we could have cut 15 minutes from this, but even then, like, oh, well, if we cut this segment with the character Ironheart, well, she's kind of the catalyst. She's kind of the reason this whole movie is a thing now, outside of Chadwick Boseman's death. So yeah, you need that. And then, well, I mean, we don't need the Ross storyline. But let's he's doing the thing with Julia Louise Dreyfus, and he's part of the first one. So maybe, I mean, things could be cut from this, but I thought everything was there. Everything needed to be said. Everything should have been what it was. Um, who else is in this here? We got it's directed by Ryan Coogler again. Letitia Wright plays Shuri. Angela Bassett plays Queen Ramonda. Like I said, Tenoch Huerta plays Namor. Denai Guerrera plays the General. Um, dude, I really enjoyed this movie. Will I go back to see it? No, I'm probably gonna wait for it to be on Disney Plus in 5 to 50 days. And but I
So
do
it's
give
a
it a
very
5 out of
broad
5.
5 to 50 days.
It's their world. They make things up as they go along. But I
Hopefully
really
it's
enjoyed it. I think it's the best MCU movie of the year that does not include Morbius or whatever the other non-Marvel movie was. Um, yeah, like I still like Doctor Strange 2 a lot, but this was grounded. This had impact to it. Like I felt everything we were watching. Majority of your cast is ladies. If you got a problem with that, you might have a problem with this, but you shouldn't. They're all there. Um, yeah, there you go. So yeah, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, 5 out of 5.
Wow, 5 out of 5. Does it
Mm.
does it dabble? Does it dabble into the multiverse, which obviously a lot of Marvel movies recently have heading in that direction? Any multiverse
I
mentions
hear
in
what you're
this?
saying. Not at all.
Hmm, good. Sometimes that does excite I feel like that's going to be something I have to sit down and get my head around, because that Doctor Strange 2 was very good, but that did start getting a bit like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Doctor Strange 2 with their multiverse of madness, it's a lot of fun, and we explored some new worlds. We weren't there a long time, but it's like, hey, what if this happened? And what if that happened? And blah, blah, blah. All right. But then you also had Thor, Love and Thunder, and we talked about that here on the Waffle Box too, where it's like they took some really serious subjects like stage 4 cancer and intergalactic kidnapping, and then made room for jokes, like jokey jokes, cartoon jokes, and you're just like, this is a weird tone, and I'm not digging it at all. It's still a Marvel movie, but this ain't the best thing they've ever produced. Like, this is still outrageous. This is still bombastic, but it's grounded as best as it could be. There's real emotion happening here. Um, folks, get fucked on your end credits segments, okay? Like, they're 30 seconds long. Most of the time, they have nothing to do with advancing the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In this case, there's one scene in the middle of the credits, so you can call it a mid-credit scene if you want. You can call it an after-credit scene for all I care. There's one scene. It only advances the story an extra 45 seconds. I don't need Kevin Smith to cry over it, which he did. It's fine. But if you had left when the credits started, you could have guessed what was going to happen next. It's not a big deal, guys. Fuck your mid-credit scenes. Fuck your end credit scenes. You don't need to stick around if you don't want to. or go to the bathroom and then come back. Those are long credits. Those are long
That's good
credits.
advice.
I've done it all the time now, man. Like since Eternals, like I went to the bathroom, came back 2 minutes later, there were still credits, and then the end credit scene happened. And guess what? We are no closer to having the Blade movie than we were a year ago. In
But
fact, we're even further away from it.
but we are, close to seeing Harry Styles in the MCU, which
I don't think we are actually.
really, you don't think he's going to return?
I think they would like him to return, but I don't. Again,
You can't
it's a
introduce him as Eros and then just not have him back again.
You can apparently introduce anything you want, dude. But guess what? Like, it's amazing that one movie studio is putting out 3 to 4 of these movies a year, because again, these things, take 2 to 3 years to produce at a time. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna see Harry Styles again, but might not be for another 2 years minimum. Or if it is, it's gonna be in an end credit scene. Like, yeah.
Maybe that's all he does. That'd be quite funny. He just keeps popping up in end credits.
Not impossible. Not impossible. I did hear Harry Styles canceled his Hollywood, California show. And go fuck yourself, Harry Styles. The more I hear about you, I can't even pick you out of a lineup, cuz, but I hear you're fucking up royally these days.
So you're saying you're not suffering from a watermelon high or watermelon sugar high? Fuck, I fucked up that joke. Jesus Christ.
That's right. I'm gonna still throw money in the air for you there. There you go.
Appreciate it.
That was all off camera, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So anyway, again, enjoyed Wakanda Forever. 5 out of 5. The folks that are not liking it, I guess, I mean, you like what you like, you don't like what you like, but you know what? No one's being racist about it, but folks are like, how can the Black Panther who took the heart-shaped herb just all of a sudden get sick? And it's like, cancer, ho. The guy's
The
cancer.
fucking actor's dead. Like, Jesus Christ. Let him have this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
I'm pretty sure some people saying they could have recast
dudes like
it,
you
but...
and me. Dudes like you and me aren't philosophizing about this. It's like established folks in the industry, in the backstage industry, like industry insiders. Anyway, yeah, they're nitpicking this one detail, like, over the Black Panther. Cancer kills everybody, man. And guess what? There was no more heart-shaped herbs. Sorry. Like, thought you were a fan of these movies.
Yeah,
Fucking pay attention.
Pretty clear in the first one, they all get destroyed. But yeah, also, even if you thought about like how, why couldn't they recast him? One, this isn't Ed Norton's phase in the MCU anymore. You can't just... And also, Chadwick played that character in technically, what was it, 4 movies?
4 films.
Yeah, you can't just recast him up there. You can't recast there.
Yeah.
I mean, and they could have, I guess they could have, but I think that got more backlash than doing this.
Everything gets backlash. My biggest thing is if they had recasted Chadwick Boseman, one, the guy probably most likely would not have given the same performance. Like, that dude was fucking amazing. Like, we really lost a fucking talent on this planet, dude. Chadwick Boseman was the real deal. I fucking went back and watched the James Brown biopic he did. Like, he's fucking amazing in that, dude. I watched 42 a few months ago. I don't know why I slept on that. I love baseball picks. And
what was that one that he was in the band that was playing for? Oh my god, I'm just totally blanking on.
Ma Rainey's.
That's the one. Yeah, the only thing I could think of was how it ended. And I didn't want to just blurt that out. But yeah,
I haven't seen that either. I need to see that, but I bet he's great in it.
He is very good in that.
Yeah, the Five Bloods. He's great in it. Like, this man is not bad in anything, and we lost a true artist. So I get it. Like, they could have recasted him. It would have gotten backlash. He wouldn't have given the best performance, but he would have tried, whoever he would have been. But I support what they did. We're going on without King T'Challa. So Letitia Wright, she holds this fucking movie on her shoulders, dude. Is she the best thing about it? No, I think Namor is the best thing about it. But we'll see what happens, dude. Like, this is a good movie. The folks that don't like it, I don't get why you don't like it, but we're also getting to that point where this is Marvel Comics movie number 30. All right, number 30. We don't have Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans anymore. That's it. Like, we're making new stars, and not everybody's feeling it. So the comic book movie fatigue that we've been talking about for the last 10 movies, I think that is finally catching up universally as well. Like, they need to make stronger stories, but guess what? When you put out 3 movies a year, some of them aren't going to be great. Happy to say this isn't one of them. So if you liked Black Panther 1, you should like Black Panther 2. But if you don't, that's your burden to bear.
Yeah, anyway. All right, perfect. 5 out of 5. Check it out if you haven't already done so. Wakanda Forever. All right, before we wrap up this week's show, it's now time, because hopefully by now you're all wrapped up, warm in bed, you're all feeling nice and you want to go to sleep. And now we're going to send you off to nights with a feel-good story. For this week's feel-good story of the week.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
So I would love to know that anyone is using us as their white noise for the evening, but I don't think that happens because I emote into the mic, especially when I've had a couple of cocktails, very loudly. So, but if you'd like us to be your white noise, I'd be happy to adjust.
I'm sure someone must do that.
Let us know. Can I help you lullaby to sleep? Like, you and I both got some velvety voices, dude. We could make this be a thing. Literal Waffle Box after dark. Hey, how about you count those sheep? 1, 2, 4. 3. And then 4.
I think it's definitely something we could get into. Just
anyway,
let the stresses of the day just wash over you. That's those kind of things they do. Bullshit. Everything has to wash over everyone. It's like, well, anyway, this week's feel good story. Oh, well, you should have always taken them off if you're already in bed, you dirty bastard. You know, you're not wearing your shoes in the bed. Dirty cunts.
This is why we're not going to be anyone's white noise, Mike, because, yeah, you react. You don't observe, you just react.
High school.
I thought you were gonna run right through that too.
Feel good stories and high school go hand in hand together. So James Vapaley, just moments after he was crowned homecoming king at Merritt Island High School in Florida. So this is a crazy one, right? This is a crazy story. So this is a feel-good story, which is set in high school in Florida. So this is a Florida man story set in high school. And it's a feel-good story. Jr. What the hell? This is crazy. So just after moments after he was crowned homecoming king, he lifted off his crown and gave it to someone he thought was more deserving. A young man named Parks Finney. So Finney, who is developmentally disabled, is the manager of the softball and track and field teams at the school. Quote, Parks comes to all of the games and most of the practices and cheers us on, Vapaley, a varsity football player told Today.com. Before their homecoming game last month, Vapaley and the other nominees for King agreed the winner would give Finney the crown and sash because he is a friend to all of us. We all love him. Finney's mum, Amy, said, They've accepted him from the beginning. It's a testament to the culture at our school, but also shows how kind teenagers can be. Look at that. A nice story. I'm still shocked. A nice story comes out of a high school from Florida, but there you go. Gives you the warm and fuzzies. Yeah, shout out to the people of Merritt Island High School, James Vapaley, and Parks Finney High School homecoming king. Cheers.
Good job, player. Ding.
And now, once you got your shoes off, because you know they're covered in shit, take the socks off too, because you're just gonna wake up like warm
with some sweaty feet.
Yeah,
no one likes sweaty feet.
And especially like if you're gonna wake up, you're gonna need to pee, and then you're gonna get out of bed, go into the bathroom, and because you've got sweaty feet, you're gonna slip, you're gonna fall, and then you're in a situation right there. You're peeing over yourself, and then you got to take a shower, and at that point you're wide awake, and you're like, "What the fuck am I gonna do now? I'm wide awake, and I've got like 4 hours till I need to get to work." And then one thing leads to another, and you're buying heroin, and you're an addict now. You're an addict now. See, so take the socks off. Anyway, that's stop.
Oh my!
Take your fucking socks off. That's what I'm saying. In bed. Ah, what a way to end the show. Kush Hayes. It's been a pleasure as always to take you along this journey on Waffle Box episode 72. But I know you do your own thing as well. You got your own thing, but you got the Bosnet family, which we are. Bosnet family, we are like a cousin. We're a cousin of the Bosnet family. What content has the Bosnet family got for the Syrup Squad coming up this weekend?
Well, unfortunately, last weekend life got in the way, so we had nothing for you. And it's not looking any better this week. But I believe I'm going to release a classic Kush and Kai microdose. It's not on the same RSS feed, and the folks that are listening to the microdose, you're probably not familiar with it. It's honestly. So what it is, you'll have to figure that out. But before you go, man, big shout out to my man Apollonio. Man, we love you. We're praying for you, and we hope you get through this. But hugs and kisses, baby. Get into it.
T's and P's, hugs and kisses. And if you want to listen to that classic Kush and Kai, you work it out. I am Mike Fish. You can follow me at only Mike Fish on Twitter and Instagram. He is Kush Hayes. You can find him on Twitter
at Kush_Hayes.
Lovely jubbly. Make sure you go to enjoywafflebox.com for all the links where you can find us, where you can listen to us, where you can watch us, where you can buy some swag. That's wafflemuch.com. Until next week, don't forget to take care of yourself and each other.
That's all, folks.